So we're off of containment. We're off of containment. That's the newest update. That's the newest update. So we'll go through that here in a second. I am assuming that because we are out of containment, that this means, you guys, that there's going to be hot new content probably today or tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hot new content. Hot new content. Okay, let me do a brief scroll here and make sure that there are no inappropriate images for my eyes to be fucking assaulted with. Because we have a little bit to read through, you guys. We have a little bit to read through because we've been on containment for so long, guys. So let's begin. Let's begin reading. Containment arc has ended. Let's go. Okay, so 13 hours ago, we realized something. We are curious how our detractors will attempt to lie and cope about this. In the DMs below, Poppy Stalker mentioned that she has an entire transcript of Noe Flake and @RealPoppyD's DMs. Does that include all the roleplay, sexting, and nudes? Because if so, and then it's the Keanu Reeves consequences. Let's read this little thread here. That means that Noe, willing and knowingly engaged in direct dissemination of revenge porn of Poppy, giving out those things without Poppy's consent, and the stalker, by keeping those logs, has said revenge porn / criminal evidence. You know, it's possible to just like scrub the images, right? Like that is a possibility. That is something that you could do. I don't think that it violates revenge porn laws to leak logs, and then if there's images, if you scrub them. I don't think that's like destroying evidence or whatever. I think that you're allowed to do that. You guys, it's Christian Visibility Day today. Everybody say amen quickly. Okay. Even if they deleted the pictures and the sexting / RP, the screenshots above still show them having all of it. Thus would be destruction of evidence. It's destruction of evidence to like scrub your nudes. Do you want people to have them or not? What the fuck? Their only recourse is destroying the log and let Noe defend herself. Or, and then Anonymous says on a Tumblr screenshot, I'm pretty sure you already know this, but again, better safe than sorry. Melina told the gossip blogs that she opened the communication with Poppy to act as a, quote, double agent. The blogs didn't believe her, and she is desperate to get back in their good graces. She'll betray all of you the second this opportunity arises. You guys, this is like an episode of Real Housewives, like Michigan. This is exactly what I would imagine Real Housewives of Michigan to be like. Okay, release the entire log, 63,108 messages, unedited, so people can read them without edits and prove they do not have that information. So do you want people to leak your nudes or not? I'm very confused, okay? And then that's the T. I don't like this drawing. It gives me anxiety. So this is, we'll continue down. We'll continue down. We'll go chronologically. Okay. And then we have this. ADHD memes, Ariel Scarcella. Okay, so this Aracel dude is like a pop. Has been poppy. We need to think of a word. Has been poppyfied. There are gamer gators everywhere for those with eyes to see it. So RSL asks Ellen DeGenerate. So you just get to harass everyone in Poppy's life stages. Crime is defending her partner. That gives you the right to turn the harassment surrounding her sexual assault into content. And Ellen DeGenerate says they are also turning it into content. I think it's fine to talk about someone clearly lying about being raped. Based, Ellen DeGenerate. I do not like Ellen DeGenerate, but based. Base take from Ellen DeGenerate. Okay. Let's see. Aracel asks, I have a question for you all. Is stealthing inherently sexual assault? If so, why? I say it is, but I just want to hear people's reasoning. Okay, and then Nightwild is another has also been poppyfied. Hey, just in case anyone's confused, Annie Gallagher, pedophile, and Wiles, pedophile, are not pedophiles. Press X to doubt. Anyone pushing these lies are A, ableist, and B, lying purposely, refusing to acknowledge what actual evidence is. Can I get some context here? What do you mean? Also, Annie Gallagher is a pedophile. Annie Gallagher says that she's a minor attracted person, and that's why she let 14-year-olds post nudes in her fucking Discord server. Like, what? And then how is that ableist? Are they going to use the pedophile OCD thing, you guys? Not the POCD, not the food shop's defense. Bro, no. Come on, guys. No. How is it ableist? No. Your Honor, have you considered that it is Autism Awareness Month? Therefore, I cannot be a pedophile or your ableist. Your Honor, please. What the fuck? And then we have cringe. Cringe, horny posting. I'm so scared there's going to be like boobs or something. Please spare me. Oh, we probably scrubbed. I imagine that we've scrubbed pretty heavily here before we came off of containment. Unfortunately, I see people citing combos as Poppy being unhinged from the people I trusted. Sad. Sad air horn. Okay, and then again, we have another Poppy-fied individual. Hey, so you seem to be missing context. That man was actively on stream trying to find their house and track them down in person. He was quite literally openly trying to dox them as well as playing. So this is about Rowing saying like, hey, I've seen Poppy out in public. She lives kind of close to me. And then they were like, kill this man, was essentially what happened with that. But interesting. And then, do not interact, don't engage, block and move on. This woman is obsessed, unstable, and untrustworthy. She betrayed her group to talk to me. And when I wouldn't comply with her framing of reality, she threatened every aspect of my life and tried to gaslight me about mine. And Saige's 10's assault. Saige was raped now, too? Is she talking about when that person jerked off in the Discord call? Is that what she's talking about? Say she couldn't find the hang up button on the Discord call? The cyber rape accusations keep getting worse, guys. She is duplicitous, two-faced, and cruel. Even her former allies, such as Courtney Orchard, do not trust her. Regardless of what you think of us, the actions of these people are heinous. Why no outrage? Here's an example of her dishonesty. And then these are the logs that we read where she was literally like, we can read these later when we get to it, where she was like, you told Noe that if she didn't break up with Amy, you were going to kill herself and it would be your fault. And Poppy was like, yeah, and I'll do it again. And then this is again in response to Roween and him basically like quote unquote doxing Poppy. And Poppy says, you mean reporting his $1 Patreon and calling the cops? That is murder. You people are insane. Meanwhile, like, it's so hyperbolic and so unhinged and so deranged to say that, like, taking away a homeless person's, like, source of whatever income they can get on the internet is, you know, attempted murder. Yeah, that's hyperbolic, sure. But in the same token, you got broken up with and you were like, I was raped. But that's not hyperbolic. Interesting. Okay. Video premiere. We were here for this. Okay, here we go. I just wanted to say something from Zena and myself. I am not going to list them out, and I do want to thank the people who have heard us out and given a proper benefit of the doubt and stood by us despite the ongoing loss of faith. Whether friends, the people that have cultivated rights, have now been incredibly loving and supportive. You know who you are. You are the folks in VC with us every night. God, somebody get me into this Discord server, bro. I would, dude, to be a fly on a wall in these calls. Are you kidding me? To be a fly on the wall. Oh, what I wouldn't do. You were the ones who believed us, or believed me when I came up with something incredibly painful, and you were the ones who liked our posts and argued with dipshits. You guys, if you truly love me, you will like every single one of my tweets, and you will argue with every single person who is mean to me. If you truly care about me and love me, that's what you'll do for me. So many people have flipped on us for incredibly weak reasons, believing demonstrable lies. We know supporting us isn't easy, and it means the world to us, especially as the drama cycle ramps up and the vultures circle. Thank you from both of us, Poppy Dubleek. But Zena doesn't get a sign off. It's just Poppy. Hashtag no Zena erasure, you guys. And then this is how I wake up knowing that people who dislike me are fallible human beings, and treating them with hatred as ontologically evil creatures only furthers unnecessary division and conflict. Oh, insight, maybe, a little bit. And then Ellen Degenerate says, stop calling it rape by deception when someone got butthurt that got dumped 2 days after sex. Based. Bobby says, again, rape by deception is literally a discussion in legal circles, and I have spoken to several lawyers. Well, it varies state to state. What happened to me, ethically speaking, was rape by deception. Context, proof, context, source, no source, hello, source, no Chick-fil-A sauce, hello? Like, could you imagine going to a lawyer and you're like, okay, so here's the deal. I dated this girl for 4 months on Discord, okay? We erotic roleplayed. It was really hot, okay? The erotic roleplay was very hot. We broke up. tier. And then I was like, bro, please hang out with us, please. And then she was like, okay, fine. And then we hung out and we fucked. And then she said, I don't want to date you. And I was raped. So can you help defend me in court? And the lawyer's just like, hello? Bro, please. I want to die and come back reincarnated as like Poppy's dog. Because I just want to hear all of this. I just want to hear all of this all the time. That's what I want. I want to just like sit in my dog bed, you know, with the crumbs of granola bars, being assaulted by the toxic fumes from the tortilla bag, and just kind of sit there and listen and just be like, interesting. Like, that's what I want. Poppy says, and I was lied to about the nature of sex with the understanding all parties and DMs were working on the relationship. Ellen wants to frame this as simply being dumped because he was never going to actually give us the benefit of the doubt. Just got ya bullshit. Like, explain this to anybody else. Explain this to like grab somebody off the street. Like, we should do like a Billy on the Streets episode, and we like, you know, we're running through the streets of Los Angeles with like our like little Rode microphone. And we're like, excuse me, miss, for $1, if you erotically roleplay with somebody on Discord for 4 months, you meet up, you fuck, and then that person doesn't want to date you, is that rape? And then for the $1, like everybody would be like, no, are you high? Like, that'd be so funny. Also, I've written about this several dozen times, made a video, and no amount of pretend progressive whining is going to change what happened to me. And then, so the original article that review is based on specifically calls out the trans panic defense is wrong. They would know that if they watched our video because we cover it. Vesh made the same mistake. Y'all can't fucking read. So the article that they shared essentially is an article talking about the legal consequences of rape by deception, and it's based in the UK for starters. But it talks about somebody who, there's 2 examples. One is somebody who lied and said that he was Jewish so he could fuck a Jewish girl, and then he wasn't Jewish, obviously, and so he was found guilty of rape by deception because he lied about, you know, either his ethnic or religious beliefs in order to get pussy. And then the other one is a trans man who lied about being trans and had sex with somebody, and then they said that it was rape by deception because he didn't disclose that he was trans. So those are the 2 examples from the article. And she's like, well, the only thing that the article really says about rape by deception in the context of trans people, like, that doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just stupid. But anyway, the other example, and it's like, don't you have a master's degree? Do you not know how to fucking read? Are you illiterate? Hello? Very interesting. Okay. Okay, we have more trans panic defense. The continued reframing of asking people to block Noe as some kind of harassment campaign is indicative of how the left regularly will move the goalpost on what isn't harassment. It's offense versus harm. We did not harm, but apparently we offended people. Be honest, for fuck's sake. Like, the problem is like, you're like, guys, block Noe, like, don't engage with her, like, just ignore her, like, let her fade into irrelevancy. Meanwhile, you schizo post on Twitter like every 2 fucking hours with that horrible picture where it says rapist in the Grand Theft Auto font, mind you, right over her fucking face. Like, in what world? In what world? Like, you are obviously, like, harassing her. Like, it's like, if I can step back objectively here for a second and I look at the entire situation, okay, and I'm taking my feels out of it, okay, feels aside, we're going to take those, put them in a box and set them over here, okay. Looking at the situation, who do you think has a better case for defamation? The person that is being slandered as a rapist because they broke up with somebody after they fucked, or the trans person who runs like a degenerate poppycule of mind-fucking barely legal 18-year-olds into flying across the country to fuck her, finger-banging people at Renaissance festivals, incest lover, that has been outed as incest lover and Renaissance fair connoisseur, who is being slandered here in this situation? Who is the one that is being defamed? Like, I swear to God, you guys, I would do fucking anything in the entire world to be in the room when she has this conversation with a lawyer. And she's like, so anyway, and I'm sure that she like printed it out too. She's not like showing screenshots on her phone. She has like a stack of paper like this fucking big. And it's just like, she pulls out like the paper and it's like a printout of like Noe with rapist over the front of it. And she's like, so anyway, I'm here to talk about this person. And the lawyer's like, oh my God, like my retainer fee is actually going to be $50,000 because holy shit, dude, we're going to lose so fucking hard. Are you serious right now? Oh my God. Poppy says, I wasn't raped because she broke up with me. I was raped because she slept with me under false pretenses and knowing that she took advantage of my mental illness. So now we've morphed again. We saw like the evolution, like, you know, those Anamorphous books where it like starts as a human, then it morphs into like a bee and there's like 8 pictures and then it's like the person becoming more like a bee or whatever the fuck. It's like we started with, I'm so sad. We started off with, I love the gawk. I love the Glockenballs, you guys. And then it slowly morphed into like, I was sexually assaulted. And then the next picture is like, I was raped. And now the next picture is like, I was raped because I'm so mentally ill that I couldn't consent. Like the next one is going to be, she tried to kill me. The next one is going to be like, she like actually like stabbed me 8 times and tased me and then spit in my face. Like it's like boom, boom, boom. Like we've completed the transformation. There's no more evolutions available to us. So I'm really interested to see what the next step is going to be, because I don't, hello? Hey, Courtney, you know what would be funny? Temporary truce to deal with the turncoat. Give it some thought. Happy birthday to our son. Oh, and their fursonas are hugging. Oh, cute. We love that. And the Degenerate says, I never debated Saige's essay. I'm talking about defending Poppy's standard of rape because it literally validates the trans panic defense. She defended the idea that Poppy was raped in the thread. Poppy says, actually, the original article, that the review based upon specific callouts the trans panic defense as wrong. They would know that if they watched our video because we cover it. Why would I watch your video? You were obviously like a compulsive fucking liar that will twist anything under the sun to justify yourself and your own worldview. Why would I not just read the fucking article, which I did, by the way, and like, your 2 examples are like Jewish people and trans people. And you're like, I was, there's no erotic roleplay. There's no Renaissance fairs. There's no fucking incest. Like, the context here is not, it's not 1-to-1, okay? Oh, I'm scared to click on this, you guys. The fact that anyone believes videos like this is fucking insane. It's so bad faith. I called my kid a midget back in the 2000s. If you retweet this shit, you lose any right to speak on this shit. Hang on, I'm going to change this just in case. Oh, why does this need a censor? This snowflakes. Okay, it says Zena and Poppy justified their child abuse because they got headaches, admitting to restricting their actual child could eat, use the restroom, and use the internet to talk with their friends while they're paying rent, and they called them a midget. The worst crime of all. The worst crime of all. All right, I think this is really what. Hang on. The continuing reframing of asking people to block. Okay, we already read that one. She retweets like all of her old fucking tweets, so it's hard to read because she'll retweet things that didn't get enough attention. She's like, this didn't get enough likes, let's retweet it again. RSL says, this is the same logic Kiwi farmers use. Imagine for a minute every single thread on Kiwi forums was for a bad person. That wouldn't make it okay. Also, you're dodging. Saige isn't Poppy, and you keep doing that over and over. Saige is a person. Stop pretending that she isn't. Again, you guys feel however you want about the fruit site. Like, feel however you want about it. Like, these are screenshots and clips and logs of her saying and doing fucked up stuff. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, you can disagree with like the narration on the site, you know, misgendering or like talking about it in a transphobic context, you know. You can disagree with all of that, and I think that's, you know, a fair criticism or what have you. However, like, when I have a paragraph of like somebody like narrating essentially what's in the screenshot, and maybe I disagree with the narration, when the screenshot itself says boom, 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 you still have to answer for the boom, boom, boom. Like, forget the preamble. What about this screenshot right here of you saying this thing? What about that? That's more of the issue, I think. And that's something that is frustrating because, like, I think it's hard for people when, like, Kiwi Farms gets involved with stuff because it allows people to kind of, like, hand wave everything, where all of the A-logging and all of the information, all the screenshots and everything, it kind of allows them to like sidestep the criticism, right? Where they can say, well, this came from people who are transphobic. This came from people who hate me, who like want me to kill myself, whatever. And you're able to like take all of this valid criticism, but because it's coming from somebody that we don't like or like a website that we don't like, it kind of gives like people like probably like a little bit of wiggle room. Kind of saw the same thing with Keffels, right? Where even when people are bringing valid criticisms to the table, it's like, well, you got this from here, therefore I don't have to address any of it because it came from a website that I don't like, or the people that found it were probably people that I didn't like or whatever, right? But again, and I'm being like, you guys have to believe me, please. If you believe anything I say, believe this. Everything that I found has not been on kiwi farms. Like, this is all from people that Poppy has fucked over, that have been documenting essentially how fucking crazy she is. Like, it is the people that she has burned that are documenting all of this stuff. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it doesn't matter where I look. The same information is present. It doesn't matter if I look on Tumblr. It doesn't matter if I look on Kiwi Farms. It doesn't matter if I look on Reddit. It doesn't matter if I look on Twitter. The screenshots are all the same. This is an example of you saying this. Why can you not answer to that? Why can you not answer to that? It doesn't matter where I found it. This is a log of you saying or doing this thing. I don't know. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating to me because it's like, oh, you're criticizing me? You must be like a Kiwi farmer. And it's like, no, but even if I was, is that not an appropriate question to ask? Like, why you thought it was acceptable to finger bang a girl at a Renaissance festival? Like, come on, you guys, come on. Oh, and we got some Food Shops slop. Food Shops is defending Poppy and Zena, right? New segment title, you guys. Pedo defends Predator. Let's go. I was going to reserve that title for Aaron Green, but Aaron Green doesn't have enough clout. We got to save that for Food Shops. That's funny. That's funny. So this person says, a lot of people say the same shit and just go along with it. We don't dox. Even though Snark Subs on Reddit knows every time one of their subjects so much as sneezes. Guys, did you sneeze today? You've been doxed. This person says, legit, if you know anybody who engages with this type of content, the regs get some serious therapy. KF is a cesspit that thrives to get members off being sourced by YouTube creators, old dramas with Christian, etc. But snark subreddits and gossip tumblers do, and then it's cut off, but I don't care. Okay, so Ellen Degenerate says, good thing I'm not doing that. Poppy wasn't raped. Do you think that the Israeli woman was raped because that man didn't disclose his Palestinian heritage? Ellen, please, bro. What the fuck? Ellen! Okay. Because this is from the article. This is the guy who lied about being Israeli or Jewish, essentially, to like fuck this girl or whatever, and then it was shown that it was rape by deception. Poppy says, comes into our DMs asking for a good faith conversation, and within 20 minutes flips and says that I'm lying about my assault. Maybe the answers to your questions, to Ellen's questions, caused that flip. Maybe Ellen was like, so explain to me how you were raped. You explain it, and then Ellen's like, that's bullshit. That's not an option, though. Even goes out of their way to strawman an Israeli example from the Yale article, which several people in our comments gave more context to. Saige says, trying to debate bro, a sexual assault victim about their assault is peak rape culture. I don't think it's like a debate. I wouldn't say that this is like a debate. It's literally just like you're lying. I don't think that's a debate. Me saying you're full of shit. That's not a debate. Doing it while KF latches on every single word in service of instigating harassment, campaigning, calling for violence against trans people is worse. Something to unpack for certain. I disavow violence, you guys. I disavow violence, but Poppy says, us, stay silent. Them, why are they silent? What are they hiding? Us, makes a video explaining our side. Them, why are you broadcasting this? First, they're mad at us because we weren't addressing things. Now they're mad at us for defending ourselves. Pick a lane. It's more like there are some things, like brevity is an important skill that has been lost on Poppy. And then selective disclosure is a skill that is actually a skill that is lost on Poppy. Like, the whole, like, hour-long video on Spawn, there was so much in there that did not need to be disclosed. Like, we didn't need to talk about how Spawn, like, how they were like, Spawn came around the house and like flashed people to make them uncomfortable. Like, yeah, keep that to yourself. Hello, what? Like, there's a lot of stuff that like I just don't need to know, right? Okay. And then these are the Courtney logs. I think this is where we're all caught up because I remember her posting these before the Luxander stream. Okay, we're back in familiar territory. So these are interesting. Poppy leaked these herself. However, they make her look way worse. I don't think that she realizes this. Maybe she did delete those ones because that was like optical suicide. And the one that she shared, one of them was, you blackmailed your kid publicly. That's super fucked up. And she goes, and I would do it again. And then the other one was like, you told Noe that if she didn't break up with Amy, you would kill herself and it would be her fault. And she goes, yes. So at least we're learning a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we're caught up on that. We'll have to check out Saige's here in 1 second. Let me catch up on chat, and then we'll catch up on Saige. Because she is also out of containment, and I'm loving her catfighting with Courtney Orchard. Again, I don't think that she understands that Courtney Orchard is like a special kind of person that like has no brakes. She's willing to go to the ends of the earth to just like destroy you. You know what I mean? Like she has no chill. Let me see if I can find this one from yesterday because I read this and I was like, bruh. I was like, this is fucking insane, dude. So, Saige, this is her alter cerise. The emoji isn't loading, but the cerise is French, so I have to do my French accent. Saige says, hon, 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 croissant. Oh, sorry, cerise says, my bad. Hon, 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 croissant. I don't know, y'all think that telling Kiwi farmers who are harassing us to take a cement bath is good, actually, bigot. Also, this comment is pleurophobic. Clearly, this blog thinks that Saige and I are the same person, and just the shield that she uses. Interestingly enough, this is the same exact language used by Kiwi farmers in our thread. Hon, 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 croissant. Yeah, I said this yesterday, and I will continue to reiterate this. I find it really interesting that Saige, like, suddenly became, a system or like had a fucking altar or whatever the fuck, like conveniently around the time that she met Poppy. I found that to be very interesting. Anyway, so Courtney responds to this and says, no, Saige, you're just a fucking twat. Get the fuck out of here already. Nobody fucking cares. So you tried to off yourself. Boo fucking who. Your precious Poppy was too busy trying to fuck me to notice. I literally got a quote, sorry, we haven't talked to you in a bit. One of our partners tried to kill themselves. Ugh, shake my head message the same day that they found out about your mid-end game. I tried to kill myself like 6 times before I was 16. You weren't special because you slit your wrist. Fucking out here with it. My 13 reasons bullshit. You sound like as much of a bitch as the twat in that show. LOL, fucking clown behavior. And then Saige responds to this and says, responding to this directly for a second time because I want to point out yet again. And so, like, again, notice Courtney doesn't give a fuck. Courtney does not play this, like, fucking ooh, small bean game. But Saige just isn't picking it up. So Saige says, responding to this directly for a second time because I want to point out yet again that the post he's responding to has nothing to do with my attempt. He's inserting that because he's trying to drive a wedge between my partners and I by lying. This is because he doesn't have an argument. And blah, blah, blah. The second point is this didn't happen. And then Courtney says, excuses. Quote, nothing is ever... I think she meant is ever my fault. It's always someone else's. Drive a wedge? Okay, sure. Face. You sound like my sister, hun. Get therapy. My sister is an internet child predator who victim blames people she assaulted. Good person to sound like XD. Gish Gallop is a nothing burger. All you like. I'll be here without predators in my support system. Have fun. XOXOXO. And then there was one in here. Where's the one where she's like, don't you have an attempt? Oh, here it is. So Saige, this is Saige's anonymous asked Saige a question, talking shit, but you're scared to reblog her directly. You guys really are terrified of Courtney, aren't you? What does she have on you? And then Saige says, Courtney is a psychotic shitbag who's unhappy with her life. And then Courtney says, you sound exactly like Lily. Exactly like her. Good job. You can emulate 2 internet predators. Do you have an attempt to finish? Like she just does not fuck around. Courtney does not fuck around. Like they're so stunt locked because they try like their uwu small bean bullshit where they're like, you're being pleurophobic, and Courtney's like, didn't you try to kill yourself? How did that go? They just like don't fucking play. Like no chill at all, bro. It's so funny. And they have no idea what to do with it because like they're used to being in this little pocket of the internet where people are like, red light topic, and then everybody's like, oh, I'm so sorry, queen, like allow us to respect your triggers, and Courtney's just like, LOL, kill yourself. Like she goes hard. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Recentering. Okay. Saige, now off of containment. Okay, so Saige has asked in many instances to not be included in any of this quote-unquote drama because she's like, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't want to be involved, blah, 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 blah. Please don't mention me. And for a while there, I was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I guess, like, everybody's mad at Poppy. Nobody's really mad at you. I guess that you're just tangentially, you know, a target because of proximity, right? You know, she just happens to be, like, near the Hamas tunnel. Like, she's not in the Hamas tunnel, but she's near it. So, I mean, that's enough for some people. So I'm like, okay, fair. That's fair. You're not in the tunnel. Like, whatever. However, Saige continues to insert herself into this. So it's like, why would anybody... It's like that Wendy Williams clip where she's like, I would ask you guys to respect my privacy, but I don't respect anybody else's privacy. Let me get that clip. It's relevant again.
I would ask you to respect our privacy, but please, I don't respect people's privacy. That's why I do the hot topics.
like that is what this is giving me, right? Like that's what this is giving me. So personally, For a while there, I was like, yeah, sure, like that makes sense, whatever. Casualty by proximity, but I don't think that's applicable anymore. So anyway, Saige is off of containment as well. So she's posting about her bottom surgery pre-op appointment went well. Yes, queen, slay. Saige says, I haven't been given a real lesbian panic just from a quick customer service interaction in a long time, but wow, girl's pretty. Panic caused the Starbucks barista was really pretty. Oh, we're starting to horny post too. Jump scare, red light, chilling with my partner's, quote, abusers, Zena and Poppy. So, like, we're kind of shoving ourselves into this, right? And then we're, like, retweeting Poppy to, like, support Poppy. I don't really know if you can ask for the target to be removed from you when you're the one that keeps putting the target, like, and taping it, like, right to the middle of your chest, right? So this is Saige reblogging release the 63,000 messages unedited so people can read them. She's basically just reposting like all of Poppy and Zena's shit. Somebody had said previously, I think it was Gayfesh, maybe, don't quote me on that. Somebody said that Saige is like Zena and Poppy's attack dog. And they were like, that's so dehumanizing to like call her partner an attack dog. But it's like when her entire existence is like defending you online, I don't know, I feel like that's an apt comparison. Saige says, I think it shows how secure I am in myself whenever somebody misgenders me or says my dead name. I legitimately don't even register it anymore. Like I see people using my dead name to refer to me, and I just assume they're talking about a different person now. Try harder, I guess. Same with people sharing old pictures of me. I don't even get dysphoric anymore. Like, bro, it's a whole different person. So we're queen. We love. Saige says, what I've learned from all this is the lives of trans people only matter if they're perfect. If they're not, we should abandon them, lie about them, harass them, and work with transphobes to ensure they end up dead. I hope you're proud. I should have never trusted any of you. Point number one, if internet drama makes you want to kill yourself, log off. First part. Second part, it's not about trans people being perfect. Like, trans lives matter. Solidarity, Wakanda forever. Like, we love trans people. We love our trans siblings, you guys. It's very important. However, like, you being trans does not shield you from that criticism. Like, just because you are trans and you wave the little fucking trans flag doesn't mean that you are immune from criticism. It's not about being perfect. It's about the bare minimum. The bare minimum is don't be a predator. Don't be a fucking pedophile. Don't be a fucking creep. Don't be a fucking sex pest. Don't be manipulative. Don't be an abuser. Don't be a cult leader. Don't be a psycho on the internet. Like, these are like bare minimum behaviors that I would expect of everybody. Like, hey, maybe if you're a therapist, don't like mindfuck people on the pretense of you being a therapist to join like your harem, essentially. I think that that's a bar that I would hold for everybody, trans or not. Or like, don't finger blast people at a Renaissance fair when there's kids around. I think that I would hold that standard for everybody. Don't post like GIF furry porn in a Discord server with minors, and then when the minors are like, bro, please censor this, you're like, haha, go fuck yourself. Like, these are standards that I hold equally across the board. Like, the trans shield doesn't work in situations like this because this behavior is inappropriate. This behavior is gross. This behavior is not acceptable. It doesn't matter if you're trans or not. This behavior is unacceptable. The trans shield panic defense does not work in this instance. Okay, if people were going after Poppy just because she's trans and a therapist, like say that you have like a therapist that happens to be trans, but they're like not weird. They don't run like a sex cult. They're not like manipulating people and mind fucking people behind the scenes. Like, just, you know, your average fucking dude who just happens to be trans, who runs a therapy practice, and people were attacking that person. I would say like, yeah, okay, this is something that we should, you know, speak out against. Let's defend this person. Like, that's fair. Like, them being trans, you know, that's fucked up. Like, they aren't doing anything. They just happen to be trans. However, we add in all the extra factors and it's like, okay, well, you being trans actually really doesn't matter. Because if it was, you know, a cisgender therapist who was doing all this fuck shit, it would also be like pump the brakes, dude. Okay. And then Saige says, fish in glass aquarium should not throw stones. If I'm an attempted murderer, what does that make them? They not only went after someone's income, but succeeded in severing it twice. And on top of that, we're working with someone with a site known for tracking down trans people. And then she retweets her own tweet and says, I can't wait to see the police report. Hello, 911. Someone tried to kill me. Yeah, they reported by PayPal for violating its terms of service. In the same sense where you call your lawyer and you say, I was raped because somebody jerked off in a Discord call with me and I didn't hang up the Discord call. Or in the same term where you hook up with somebody that you e-dated and sexted with for 4 months, you guys fuck, and then you break up and you say, I was raped. I would also love to see that police report. I would also love to see the invoice for that lawyer. That would be good. That would be good. Saige goes on to say, not to mention the claims that we've somehow committed any crimes for speaking out about our assaults. Meanwhile, the Admiral still contacts my family after I explicitly cut contact. Pretty sure that qualifies as harassment if my posts do. So this is talking about the other day we read Saige's long thread about how Admiral Paco still regularly contacts Saige's mom to be like, she's good right now because her relationship is stable. If her relationship is unstable, she's probably going to try and fucking kill herself again, so you should probably watch her. I wouldn't consider that harassment. I would consider that a concerned bud, a concerned bud that doesn't want you to kill yourself. But because we're so entrapped in the poppycool, we've been poppyfied so hard, we don't see that like an act of concern is actually something that a good friend would do. You know what I mean? Also, the crimes, quote unquote, that we have committed, one of them was blackmail, with Dormu specifically, where they told Dormu, take this shit down or we're going to fucking nuke you from orbit. We're going to do a whole ass fucking segment on you. Dormu also has a lot to use. Dormu is applying for asylum and shit like that. So Dormu doesn't want to fuck with this, obviously, which makes sense. I also wouldn't want to fuck with it. If I had like a real life shit going on, I would be like, nah, dude, like I got to bow out of this. I don't want the beef. I don't want the smoke, so to speak. So that would be criminal. Releasing protected health information in a group chat, also criminal. I have this over here. Let me switch this up here. I have this link. I saved this link. This is, and Poppy does not deny this, by the way. This is something that Poppy has never said, this didn't happen. She is also very aware that this happened. That was quick, wasn't it? Okay, so Poppy has not denied this. So this is a violation of HIPAA, which is also illegal. Sorry. Poppy had written a letter to a client's parents making a case that the trans genocide is happening and is on the cusp of happening, and she was proud of this letter, so she wanted to share it with the details anonymized. She got everything except a single instance of the client's first name. She posted it in a Twitter group chat that I run. Twitter does not let you delete DMs. Deleting them only hides it to you, so this letter with her client's name was available for every single member of the group chat. Initially, she was asking everybody to delete that message for themselves and take a screenshot of that section of the group chat to prove that they no longer saw it, but not everybody was quick to respond, and her boss was going to have to file a report for a breach of confidentiality or something, so I ended up using my alt account to boot everybody from the GC. So this has not been denied by Poppy that this happened. This is illegal. This is a violation of HIPAA. Additionally, we have Poppy essentially showing private health information to Melina in a private message, trying to say like that she still has access to Spawn's medical records. Spawn has said in response to this that Spawn never gave Poppy access to any of this stuff, that Poppy, like that she logged in on a family computer and Poppy just could access her shit, or could access their shit, essentially. So this is a screenshot from the logs with Melina. So you can see here, Poppy says, blank is a manipulative little cunt. This is the kid. So Spawn is a manipulative little cunt. I know my kid, and I know the tricks they used to play people against the middle. By the way, we still have access to Spawn's medical records because they gave us that ability when they live with us. I can show you evidence that they lied about insurance and had appointments with their doctors, doctors and social worker both in December and January. Please do not share these. And then these are screenshots of Spawn's profile on the hospital medical portal. That is illegal. That is illegal. That is illegal. That is illegal. Like, we can delete everything when we can delete them when we're done. Spawn is lying to everyone because they are mad. So we have an example of that, which is illegal. And then additionally, there's some screenshots in here where Melina is essentially saying Spawn never agreed to you having access to this kind of information. And even if there is an ROI in place, so for people who don't know what an ROI is, it's a release of information. So if I go to the doctor and I go to see a different doctor, I will sign an ROI. So say I go to a doctor for migraines specifically, and then my general practitioner, my primary doctor is like, hey, like, can I see what they said in your notes, and can I see what they prescribed you so I can kind of integrate this into your records and we can, kind of work together. So I'll sign an ROI and I'll say that you can release this information, you can release this information and this information. And I get to choose what they can and cannot send to the doctor so that they can collaborate. It is unheard of in, like, especially for like therapy and shit. It is virtually unheard of for someone who is an adult to sign an ROI to an independent party, i.e. like a parent or a spouse or a sibling. That is virtually unheard of. You can do it, but it is very rare and it is very weird, and it only releases specific information. So for example, say that I go to therapy, say that I'm like an alcoholic and I'm going to therapy for my alcoholism, and my wife is like, this is like the 10th or 20th time that we've tried to do this. I want access to your therapy notes because I want to make sure that you're actually talking about this kind of shit. I could say, like, let's just say that I'm like, you're right, I betrayed your trust like X amount of times, blah, 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 I'll do it. When I sign the ROI, I can say she can only read my therapy notes containing this information, or she can only have access to this information with this kind of information redacted. So even if I sign an ROI, that does not give her unlimited access to every single medical file that I've ever had access to. So hypothetically, if Spawn did sign an ROI to Poppy and say, like, you can see that I did this, this, and this, that does not give Poppy free access to every piece of confidential medical information that Spawn has. Like, she doesn't get free reign over everything. It's very specific information that is allowed to be released. Just for context, that's fucked up. So when Saige is here saying, like, what about these crimes? The crimes are harassment. The crimes are blackmail. The crimes are releasing private health information, accessing private health information. And of course, in all of this, like, the defamation and slander of Noeflake, like, if Noeflake goes to try and get a job, just pretend like that job Googles Noeflake and the fucking article comes up on Annie Gallagher's fucking Acorn website or whatever the fuck, and it's a picture of her with a rapist in the Grand Theft Auto font over the front of it. That is a slam dunk case for fucking defamation right there. Like, it has not been proven in a court of law that Noe is a fucking raper, okay? It's not gonna happen. Even if it did, hypothetically, it's not gonna happen. Like, what do you mean, what crimes? What are you talking about? What crimes? Oh my God. Oh my God. Here's Saige telling people to kill themselves some more. That's kind of boring. I swear to God, all of her anger towards me is her just projecting her own self-frustrations with the fact that I'm capable, willing to engage in conflict resolution in my relationships and treat them as partners, while she treats them as something to bullheadedly demand capitulation in. Damn, it's almost like that's Poppy. I swear the only reason I haven't fucking Roblox yet is because they just use it against my partners, ignore everything that I've said. So then retweeted same day says, right now these fucks are weaponizing this exact kind of harassment that drove much larger creators than us off the platform against us. I'm not going to take the complete and utter disregard for my health and safety forever. I'm fucking done. They win. I give up. Fucking goodbye. Okay, obviously not, because then the same day we're posting more. But like, again, if this is causing you like so much psychic damage, just fucking log off. I don't understand. All right, and then we've been here before. Okay, so Containment arc is over as of right now. I'm sure that we're going to get content soon, you guys. I'm sure that that's going to happen. We've probably had time to ponder, time to contemplate. I remember when Poppy and Zena did that first stream on Spawn, they said that they have all the logs and they were going to do it in several parts. And at one point, they were going to release all the logs with Spawn. They had bragged that, that they had like all this shit, essentially saying that Spawn was a liar and a manipulator and like this evil piece of shit or whatever the fuck. So we're still waiting for those logs to be released. So I'm sure at some point we will get new content, because I'm dying to see these logs. I'm dying to see these logs that are just gonna blow everybody out of the water and prove once and for all that Poppy and Zena are the innocent, pure goddesses of the realm who have done nothing wrong ever in the history of the universe. And I think again, this just shows poor judgment, and I think that this shows the complete and utter lack of foresight, because we continue to spiral. Like, we thought the Keffel spiral was bad, the Jalen spiral is bad, all of this kind of cycling is not good, right? But I think this is like the worst case of it I've ever seen, where it's like, when are you going to learn that like you keep kicking the hornet's nest and then you're confused when the hornets come out and stab you. I'm imagining like a little hornet with a knife and it's doing like the shank, that's kind of what it feels like. But we keep kicking the hornet's nest, and I don't understand why it's so difficult to just step back and be like, okay, I need to evaluate my actions. I need to think about my role in this. I need to think about how I'm contributing to this, and then I need to adjust accordingly. It shows a significant lack of foresight, especially with the context of Kiwi Farms being involved. And again, like I said, feel however you want, like, these are still things that Poppy has said and done, okay, regardless of where it comes from. These are things that she has said that she has done, or evidence of her doing these things. With them involved, is she so afraid, not only for her kid that she fucking hates, but also for herself and for her partners? Why do you keep kicking the hornet's nest? Why? Like, why wouldn't you just fuck off and let it die down? Because that's part of the fun for a lot of people, right? Is every time that you make like this dramatic stream titled like "My fucking deranged cunt child making fucking false rape allegations against everybody" or whatever the fuck, like that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants you to have like these meltdown streams because they're funny. Like, and when I say funny, I'm using funny in quotation marks. Like, people laugh at you floundering in this. That's what people want. People want you to have like an explosive reaction. People want you to like cry on stream. People want you to freak the fuck out because they think it's funny. And to be honest, it's a little funny. I'll put a little bit of salt on the rim of my margarita. I think it's a little bit funny because it's like we're in a fucking football field with one rake, and somehow every single fucking step that we take, we step on the rake and it fucking hits us in the face, and we don't learn to walk around the rake. It shows an incredible lack of foresight and a poor judgment in the whole situation, especially if you are genuinely concerned for your safety. Log off. Like, if you're concerned that these people are gonna, find out where you live or, fuck with you in real life or whatever the fuck, log off. All you're doing is giving them more ammunition. All you're doing is giving them more lolcow material because that's what they want. They're like, this is funny that this person is like freaking the fuck out. They think it's funny. And you're just giving them more things to laugh at. They're not going to stop until you just are like, I'm done with it. Like maybe go back to making your same boring, dry content about like how much you want to fuck Vosh and how desperately you wish you could be reincarnated as a horse on Vosh's horse farm or whatever. Go back to that. Like, you guys are just continually kicking the hornet's nest. You're just punting it back and forth up and down the field. And we're not learning. And that's interesting to me. It's very interesting to me, especially with somebody as old as Poppy is. You think we would know a little bit better, but I'm constantly surprised. Constantly surprised. I don't think I've ever